All right, so today we're diving deep into a company called Metallicus.
Okay.
And they're building what they're calling the digital banking network.
Interesting.
And yeah, from what we can see from all these articles and websites and even this wild image we found,
Yeah.
they're really banking on a future with like personal robots everywhere.
Wow.
Like robots paying your bills, managing investments, maybe even, doing some crypto stuff for you.
That's fascinating. It seems like robots are going way beyond, just chores and stuff.
Yeah.
And heading straight into finance.
Yes.
And Metallicus seems to be like right there on the leading edge of this whole thing.
Right.
It could totally change how we even think about money.
So, okay, first, like what exactly is Metallicus even trying to do?
So basically, Metallicus wants to build this digital asset banking network.
Okay.
With the customer, you at the center.
Right.
And it's all powered by blockchain technology. So they're really creating this whole platform for you to manage digital assets, and they want to make it super easy and enjoyable.
Gotcha. So they're not just like dreaming big, right? I was reading about them acquiring another company and even working with like credit unions.
Right.
It seems pretty serious.
Oh, they're definitely serious. Like they acquired this company called Bonify, which connects over 70 credit unions to the Metal blockchain.
Wow.
So they're clearly trying to work within the existing system, bridging that gap between traditional banking and blockchain.
Right. And it's not just credit unions. They're on board with that FedNow service too, right?
Exactly.
Which is like a big deal in the traditional finance world.
Yeah, huge. Supporting FedNow shows they want to work with the existing system, not just, disrupt it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty smart if they want everyone to start using blockchain.
Okay, so how are they even building all of this? Like what kind of tools are we talking about?
Well, they've created this whole suite of products that all work together. There's Metal Pay, Metal X, the Metal blockchain, the WebAuth wallet.
Wow, okay.
Their Metal dollar stablecoin, and Metal Pay Connect.
Okay, that's a lot.
It.
Let's start with like Metal Pay. What's the main idea there?
So Metal Pay, it's your, your user-friendly gateway to crypto.
Okay.
It's an app where you can buy and sell crypto, make transactions with it, all with really low fees.
Okay.
And get this, they offer 247 human support.
Wow, really?
Yeah, you don't see that too often in the crypto world.
No.
So even if you're, totally new to it, you won't be lost.
That's great. Especially for people who are like hesitant to dive into crypto.
Exactly.
But what about for people who want like more than just the basics?
Well, for that, there's Metal X.
Okay.
This one's for, like the experienced traders.
Right.
The people who want access to those DeFi tools, like lending, borrowing, yield farming, all that stuff. But here's the really cool part. Metal X is powered by AI.
Oh, wow.
So it's like next level.
AI managing my portfolio. That sounds like a whole other deep dive.
Right.
But before we like go too deep into that,
sure,
let's talk about like the foundation of it all.
Okay.
The Metal blockchain.
Right.
What makes that special?
So the Metal blockchain, it's all about security and being able to like scale up.
Okay.
They're really focused on secure digital identity, which is like crucial for anything financial. And they're using the subnet architecture.
Okay.
So the system can handle like a ton of users and transactions without slowing down.
So they're thinking ahead. And where does my money actually live in this whole thing?
That's where the WebAuth wallet comes in.
Okay.
Think of it like your high security vault for all your digital assets.
Right.
They use like advanced biometrics, like facial recognition, fingerprint scans to verify every single transaction.
Wow. So they're not messing around with security.
Nope.
Okay. So I'm starting to see how they're building this whole secure ecosystem. But where does Metal Dollar fit into all of this?
Right. So Metal Dollar, or XMD, is their stable and reliable digital currency.
Okay.
It's a stable coin backed by reserves.
Nope.
Actually, a whole basket of other stable coins.
Oh, interesting.
Like USDC, PYUSD, and USDP. And they use smart contracts to manage this basket.
Okay.
So it keeps the value steady and spreads the risk.
So they're aiming for stability and security, which is like, that's crucial if they want regular people to use this.
Exactly.
Right.
And to make it easier for businesses to join in, they created Metal Pay Connect.
Okay.
Which is like a bridge between normal currency and crypto.
Got it.
So businesses can, easily start using digital assets.
Okay. So we've got like a decent picture of Metallicus now.
Right.
Their goals, their tech, their focus on security. But let's bring in the robots now.
Okay.
How do they fit into this whole digital banking network thing?
Now, this is where things get really futuristic.
Right.
They basically see a world where your robot isn't just, a helper around the house.
Right.
It's like your financial advisor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So like a robot butler who pays my bills, manages my investments, maybe makes some, smart crypto trades for me.
Exactly. Metallicus sees robots as key in three main areas: empowering us financially, enhancing our digital identities, and using AI to help with our finances.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So how would robots even empower us financially?
Imagine like all those annoying financial tasks,
Right.
paying bills, putting money into savings, even making investment decisions. The robot takes care of it,
Okay.
and it works, 24/7.
Right.
Make sure your finances are always in tip-top shape.
Like a financial assistant who never sleeps. That's pretty great.
Exactly.
But giving a robot access to, all my money, that feels a little, I don't know,
Yeah, I get it.
scary. What about security?
That's where the metal blockchain comes in.
Okay.
So they think robots will use the blockchain to verify your identity for every single action they take.
Okay.
So you and only you have control over your money. The robots are basically just protecting your data and making sure everything's by the book.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah.
So it's not just about convenience.
Right.
It's about trust and security.
Exactly. And remember, those smart contracts,
Yeah.
they're part of this too. You can program your robot to do certain tasks based on, your preferences, automatically pay certain bills or change your investments based on the market.
Wow.
It's all possible with smart contracts.
So it's not like robots taking over.
Yeah.
It's robots working with us,
Right.
making our lives easier and, keeping our money safe.
Exactly.
And then if you're okay with going even further,
Yeah.
your robot could work with their AI-powered exchange,
Yeah.
Metallicus Pro, right?
Yeah.
To manage your portfolio and make trades.
That's right.
Wait, so my robot would be working with AI to handle my investment?
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
What's next level? But doesn't that raise some concerns? What if robots start making all the financial decisions?
Right.
And some people get left behind?
That's a valid concern. And Metallicus knows that this robot automation thing could disrupt the economy.
Okay.
But they're doing stuff to try and prevent that.
So it's not just about robots and algorithms taking over.
Yeah.
They're thinking about the human side of things too.
Absolutely. One thing they're doing is partnering with credit unions.
Okay.
By bringing blockchain to these community-focused institutions,
Right.
they're making it accessible to more people. It's about making sure everyone benefits, no matter their background or how tech-savvy they are.
Right. That's really important. We talk a lot about the digital divide, and we don't want this technology to make it worse. Everyone should have a chance to be a part of this, robotic future.
I totally agree. And Metallicus isn't just focused on today's problems. They're looking at the bigger picture. The future of finance itself.
Okay, let's talk about that. What's their vision for how we'll interact with money in this robot-powered world?
So, two things are key: scalability and interoperability.
Okay.
If you've got millions of robots managing everyone's finances,
Right.
the system has to be able to handle it.
Right.
And the metal blockchain, with its subnet architecture, is designed to do just that.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
We're talking about a massive influx of robots into the system.
Yeah, huge.
So it needs to be ready.
Exactly. And they're also thinking about the environment.
Oh, good.
Sustainable tech is the only way forward.
Absolutely.
They're committed to making the blockchain energy efficient, which is a big deal when you think about all those robots potentially using a ton of power.
Right. So they're building for the future, but a responsible future.
Yes. They want to be aligned with, people who care about the planet and want to use technology for good.
Okay. We've covered a lot. Metallicus, blockchain, robots, AI. It's a lot to take in.
I know, right?
Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to bring it back to you, our listener.
Of course.
We've talked about how Metallicus is building this robot-powered financial future, but, what do you think? How do you see yourself in this world?
It's an interesting question. If, everyone starts using these robots to manage their money, will you embrace it? Will you let the robots take over, or will you want to, stay more hands-on?
It's a big moment, and the choices we make now are going to shape the future of finance?
Mm-hmm.
So really think about those questions. And in part 2 of our deep dive, we'll explore the potential challenges and opportunities of this whole robot-powered world.
Sounds good.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Metallicus and this whole idea of like robots and finance.
Yeah, we were just talking about how robots could become, our personal financial managers.
Taking care of everything, bills, investments, all of it.
Right.
It's pretty wild to think about. But like with any new tech, they're going to be, challenging.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's important to look at, both sides.
Right. So let's play devil's advocate a little.
Okay.
What are some of the potential downsides to this whole robot finance thing?
Well, I think one of the first things that comes to mind is, jobs.
Right.
If robots are managing finances, what happens to the people who used to do those jobs?
Yeah, that's a good point. Like we've seen automation, change things in manufacturing, other industries.
Right.
Could finance be next?
It's a possibility for sure. But Metallicus seems to be, trying to get ahead of this.
Okay, how so? Are they doing anything to address this whole job displacement thing?
Well, their focus on working with those credit unions, I think that's a good step.
Okay.
By, working with those community-focused institutions, they're kind of bridging that gap between traditional finance and this new world of, blockchain and robots.
That makes sense. Because credit unions often serve those communities that might not have access to, a lot of financial services.
Exactly.
So by working with them, Metallicus could help make sure everyone benefits from this tech.
Right. It's about making sure everyone's included and no one's left behind.
They're also putting a lot of emphasis on financial literacy.
Yeah, which is super important, with all this change happening. It's not just about building the tools. It's about, teaching people how to use them.
Right.
And, imagine robots being a part of that education process.
Oh, that's interesting. How would that even work?
I don't know, think like interactive tutorials.
Okay.
Delivered by, your friendly robot companion. Breaking down complicated topics like blockchain,
right,
crypto,
right,
into, bite-sized lessons.
Right. Make it fun and engaging.
Exactly.
Yeah, that could definitely make it less intimidating for some people.
Oh, well, good.
But okay, education aside.
Yeah.
What about the risk of robots just making bad decisions?
Right.
Algorithms aren't perfect.
Right.
And markets can be unpredictable.
Oh, for sure. But Metallicus is really big on, user control and transparency across their whole system.
So even if my robot's helping me with investments, I'm still the one who makes the final call.
Yes, exactly. You set the rules and the robot follows them.
Okay.
Plus, you can see everything the robot's doing.
Okay, that's good. That's reassuring.
Yeah.
But what if something does go wrong? What if my robot, makes a risky trade and I lose money?
Oh, yeah.
Who's responsible then? The robot. Metallicus. That's a tricky one.
That's a tough one. That's going to bring up a lot of, legal and ethical questions.
Right.
As this tech keeps developing.
Yeah, it's all new territory.
Totally.
And speaking of uncharted territory, let's talk about data privacy.
Oh, right.
If my robot is handling all my money, it's going to have a lot of my info,
Yeah, a lot of sensitive stuff.
Important stuff.
Definitely. And that's why the Metal blockchain's focus on secure digital identity is so important.
Okay, so my data would be encrypted.
Right.
And stored securely on the blockchain.
Exactly.
Not, just sitting on some server that could get hacked.
Right. Blockchain is decentralized, and you can't tamper with it.
Right.
So it's perfect for keeping that data safe.
Okay. But even with the best security, there's always some risk. Right?
Yeah, there's always a chance.
What if the whole system gets hacked or a robot goes rogue? Sounds like a sci-fi movie.
I know, right?
But it could happen.
It could, but Metallicus is working on ways to prevent that.
Okay.
Remember that WebAuth wallet?
Yeah.
With the biometrics? They could use that same level of security across the whole ecosystem. So only, the right people and devices can access the data.
Okay. It seems like you're really trying to think ahead and, address these challenges.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to be proactive.
Okay, so we've talked about some of the downsides. Now let's, shift gears a bit. Talk about the exciting stuff.
Okay.
How could this tech really change, how we interact with money?
Well, think about financial inclusion for people who, don't have bank accounts or don't have good access to financial services.
Right.
A robot could be their way in.
Oh, interesting. So instead of having to go to a bank or, figure out some complicated website,
right,
they could have a robot that helps them, open an account, send money, even access microloans.
Exactly. And for people with disabilities, or people who have trouble getting around, a robot could help them manage their finances on their own.
That's amazing. It could really, level the playing field.
Definitely. And for those of us who are, comfortable with tech, robots could free up so much time and energy.
Right. No more spending hours paying bills or, researching stocks.
Exactly. Your robot can handle that while you, focus on other things.
Yeah, spend time with family, pursue your hobbies.
Right. It's about automation working for us.
And don't forget about Metallicus's, AI-assisted finance thing.
Oh, right.
The idea of AI and my robot working together to, manage my portfolio. It's pretty crazy.
I know. It's wild.
But cool.
But it could be amazing,
Yeah.
AI can analyze the markets so much faster than we can find opportunities, make trades with crazy speed and accuracy.
You've having a whole team of financial experts working for you 24/7.
Exactly.
And because it's all on the blockchain,
right,
you can see everything that's happening.
You got it. Total transparency.
No more blindly trusting some, financial advisor.
Right.
Or just hoping your investments are doing okay.
Nope. You're in control. You've got the tech to make informed decisions.
Okay, I'm really starting to see the potential here. But let's zoom out a bit.
Okay.
If this whole robot finance thing becomes, reality, what does that mean for society?
That's a big question. How will it affect traditional institutions?
Right.
Banks, credit unions. Will they adapt?
Right.
Or will they, disappear?
That's a big one. What do you think?
Well, it seems like Metallicus is betting on, collaboration, not destruction.
Okay.
Remember they acquired Bonify?
Yeah.
And they're working with the FedNow service? It seems like they're trying to build bridges.
Between the old and the new.
Exactly.
It's an interesting approach. Kind of working within the system to change it. And what about global finance?
Oh, right.
If robots are managing our money, do borders and currencies even matter anymore?
That's a great question. Could we see a truly global financial system powered by blockchain and robots?
It's definitely possible. And with Metallicus focusing on, interoperability and scalability, their metal blockchain could be a key part of that.
For sure.
Wow. We've covered so much in this deep dive.
A lot of ground.
From how Metallicus's tech works,
right,
to the potential challenges and opportunities of this robot-powered world.
Yeah.
It's a lot to process.
It really is. But before we, wrap up, we want to bring it back to you, the listener.
Of course. We've talked about how robots could, change our financial lives. But what about your vision for the future?
Yeah, if everyone's using these robots to manage their money, what role do you see yourself playing? Will you embrace the tech? Or will you be more, hands-on?
It's a big moment. And the choices we make now are going to shape what happens next. So think about those questions. And in part 3, we'll wrap things up and, explore some final thoughts. Okay, so welcome back to the show. We've spent this deep dive exploring Metallicus and their whole vision for this digital banking network and how robots could totally revolutionize how we, deal with money.
Yeah, it's a future with a ton of potential, but as we've been saying, it's not all, sunshine and rainbows.
Right, we talked about potential job losses, algorithmic bias, the whole data privacy thing, and even who's really in control when robots are making financial decisions.
Yeah, definitely a lot to think about.
So for this last part of our deep dive, let's kind of zoom out and look at the bigger picture.
Sounds good.
What are some of the big themes that have come up for you?
Well, for me, I keep thinking about how this could change our relationship with money,
Yeah.
Will we just become totally detached from our finances, letting robots handle everything while we just, do other stuff?
It makes you wonder, right? Will it be this hands-off thing or something completely different?
Exactly. I mean, some people might become less engaged, I guess, with the day-to-day. But I think there's also a good chance people will actually become more empowered,
Wait, really?
Yeah.
How could giving up control to robots actually empower us?
Think about it. right now, finance can feel so complicated.
Oh, yeah.
For a lot of people, right?
Definitely.
Robots could make things simpler.
Okay.
They could give personalized advice, make the tools easier to use.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right. So it's not about robots replacing us. It's about them helping us make like smarter decisions.
Exactly. And as we get used to the technology, we might even start to understand our own finances better.
I like that. So if robots are doing all the like daily stuff, that frees us up to think about the like bigger picture, right?
Like your long-term goals, your value, how your money fits into your life.
Exactly. It's about being like proactive with your money.
Yes.
Instead of just reacting, you know, scrambling to pay bills and just hoping for the best.
It's about shaping your financial future. And Metallicus is building the tools to do that.
Yeah, they seem to be putting a lot of thought into it. They're focused on making things user-friendly and secure.
Right.
And they want everyone to be included, not just like a select few.
Which is so important.
Absolutely. But even with the best tech, it all comes down to us, you know?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
We need to learn about these new technologies and think critically about like how they could affect us.
Couldn't agree more. We have to ask those tough questions.
Right.
Like, what role do we want robots to play? How do we make sure they're used ethically? How do we make sure everyone benefits?
Those are big questions, and I don't think they're easy answers, you know?
Nope.
But it's a conversation we have to have.
Absolutely. We're at a turning point, and the decisions we make now are going to have huge consequences.
Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive, we want to leave you with one final thought.
Okay.
If Metallicus succeeds, and this digital banking network becomes a reality,
right,
and robots really do become like our financial buddies, what kind of world will we be living in?
Yeah, what will it mean for you, for your family, for your community?
It's something to really think about. Thanks for joining us on this journey into the future of finance. The future full of possibilities, and we're really excited to see how it all plays out.